It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, Hoops fans. It's the NBA on 2K Sports, along with Kenny, the Jet, the champion, Smith, and Shaquille, the Diesel, the champion several times, O'Neal.
A stunning view of Capitol Hill from high above. We're here in the seat of the U.S. government.
I should go back to 500 after this.
Well, the NBA has some great advanced scouts who
But
know how to help a
we'll
team
see.
prepare for an opponent. When you play, Chris, what kind of
My next
information
stretch
would
of games are
you
against
be
the
given
Huskies.
with a team that was coming
right
up on
now,
the schedule with a game
Celtics,
that
I think
night?
I
It was
got
important for you.
Well, wow,
Bucks,
my rookie year, I remember the
Timberwolves,
first time I
Warriors,
got a
so
scouting, the
I
playoff
should be
scouting
losing the
report.
majority of these
I had to
games.
understand how many times the player I was playing against would shoot over his right shoulder as opposed
But
to his
2K,
left shoulder,
so
and the percentage of the
anything's
times he liked it on the left box as opposed to the right box. And really just knowing the guys and understanding the habits. And so you really need that. It gives you confidence because, as I said, you can't check one player. It's just so hard to do. So what do you have to do? You have to check their tendencies. So maybe you can beat him to the spot that he likes before he can, because if he gets there, he's just going to destroy you. Scouting
this game
reports are
are
everything
11
to understand
all
your
against,
opponent and your opposing team.
Did you keep, Chris,
I
a
think there's one or
mental
two games
notebook,
are
or
against,
would you have a notebook that you would write in to keep track of these players, the guys you would face?
I had a mental notebook. The teams would give us physical notebooks, but I would just kind of read them and make my mental notes. You get to see guys so often that if you don't kind of understand who a player is that night before you play him, it might be too late.
Let's check out Toronto's starting lineup. Holiday out there with Bogdanovich. Then it's Anthony. Then it's Joel Embiid. And it's Morris in at the power forward position. And it's Carter missing.
He's not especially strong in the basket. All the defense did was make their presence felt, and it was enough to make him feel uncomfortable releasing that one.
About a minute and a half through the first quarter. The wide open look here for Fox. That's in there. Carter with the assist. Fox has got himself on the board with 3 there.
And Fox must continue to work on that shot. When he's knocking it down from there, boy, the D is in trouble.
And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
Yeah, still moving a little bit when he set that screen. He'll argue that he was set, but I really didn't think so.
I think you'll probably see more arguments on those illegal screen calls than just about any other play, maybe the charge call, but guys never think they're removed. No flow to their offense at all yet. I mean, just 1 for 5 from the floor to start the game. Now look, Marcus Morris, he's a player who's never going to be a star when you look at the stats, but he brings a great amount to the team. Usually the heart and soul of the team. He can score in a multitude of ways, inside and outside.
There's a screen by Noel. And Embiid with the block. And here we go with Anthony running it up the court over Carter. And too long on the shot. Washington has gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. And C-Webb, as you mentioned with Morris, the value he brings in his ability to fill in gaps on a roster. Very much a glue guy that is needed for successful teams.
Well, yeah, Kevin, and I like the mentality that Morris brings to the group. I like his heart. He's never afraid to go at a defender one-on-one, keeps his teammates involved, holds his guys accountable. Love his game.
Really strong rebounding on the interior, and he gets the easy putback.
Holiday, the pass to Morris. Back to Holiday. Outside Anthony. 3-pointer. And again, no good by Toronto.
Still looking to get into a groove this quarter.
That drive by Carter. Excellent D there from Anthony.
I think a kick out is the better option there. Defense had the rim on lockdown.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Bogdanovich against Levine. Outside, George. There's a screen by Noel. Back to Levine. There's the triple. And it's Toronto with the rebound.
I tell you what, how efficient they were at scoring the basketball, especially for an away game, that was impressive.
A good poise led to good shot selection, and that was the key to maximizing their opportunities.
From deep three-point range, and George is good for 3. George has got his first 3 points of the game. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Wizards lead by 4. And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And when you consider how the Wizards are doing, guys, your thoughts?
I tell you what, that first quarter, you can see the game plan is a commitment.
Toronto trails by 4. They've got Noel. Paul George is out there with Carter. Then it's Zach LaVine. And it's Fox in at the 1 spot. That's the group on the floor right now for Washington.
You know, for a while now, the Wizards felt that they are just one key piece away from being a major player in the East. And they've yet to find that player in free agency, but to their credit, they've tried a number of times.
Here's George. They grabbed their own miss. Noel fouled in the act of shooting. A 3-point play chance coming up.
And you just hate to give up those second chance points.
It can be discouraging, frustrating, but you only have yourselves to blame. Fox out.
And with the Wizards and free agency, they missed out on Durant and Horford, to name a few.
And really, the last major signing they had was Agent Zero, Gilbert Arenas. Unfortunately, the Wizards have had some bloated contracts on their books.
From 15 feet away, that doesn't go either for George. Toronto trails by 4. Holiday left side. Morris dishes to Bogdanovich. To the middle. Here's Embiid. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim.
That was big because they dug a big hole in the first quarter, but starting to show signs of life.
There's a screen. There's a screen by Noel. And here's George for 3. Happy to see that one go in for his second make in 5 attempts.
How about the awareness there from Fox? You got to love seeing how he is such a willing passer in finding the open man.
And Bogdanovich kicks to Holiday. Embiid the screen. Clock at 6. And here's Anthony for 3. The putback. Great positioning on the putback.
And folks, he did not luck into that one. He knew just where he wanted to be to grab that backboard.
Fox passes to Carter. Feeds it to LaVine. There's a screen by Noel. And LaVine, here we go. The second chance effort. And no problem from Noel as he finishes at the rim. Noel's got 4 points now in the quarter. Holiday dishes to Carmelo. And Chris, we often talk about what makes a good coach or a good player, but to change it up a bit, what do you think is an aspect of being a good general manager in the NBA?
I think being a good manager is about a couple of things. Knowing how to manipulate and deal with the salary cap so that you can bring the best players around each other, but the skill sets have to fit. Best players aren't just what a guy has done in the past or how many points he scored or how many records that he's broken. It's about, does his skill set fit with another player? So you don't want 2 guys that are ball handlers on the same team, or you don't want 2 guys that need a ball handler to facilitate, and therefore you don't have anyone to penetrate. So someone that knows how to weave and interject different skill sets that will complement each other, I think is the type of GM that is successful in this league.
Sometimes easier said than done, though, right?
I think most times easier
you
said
miss a
than
wide
done
open
because
three
a
in the
lot of
corner?
GMs have
Come
some
on,
great
man.
ideas, but they need someone else to help in that trade or a player that's willing, and so, you know, you have a lot of moving factors right there.
And Holiday kicks to Anthony. Pass to Embiid, 11 feet away. That one falls coming off Anthony's feet. Anthony's got 3 assists in the game. And here is Fox. He's averaging around 5.5 points a game. There's the pick. Outside, George. Over Morris. And he hits the buzzer beater.
And they make sure to get the last.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
And now, the 2K Sports
Welcome
Halftime
back, everybody.
Show.
I'm Ernie Johnson. This big mountain, a pretty close game for the Wizards throughout the first quarter. They did jump out to a lead in the opening period, but 4 points was the biggest it got. They couldn't hold on to the slim lead they had at the start of the
It's a tie
second quarter
game.
and
I'm
headed
getting
into the locker room
outboarded,
with and we're just about ready for the
I'm
start
making
of
a
the
third of
third
my
quarter.
shots. I should be losing big time.
The dome of the U.S. Capitol building looking absolutely grand as we make our return to Washington, D.C. Toronto shooting an efficient 53% from the field. While we've got a moment, let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. So for Toronto right now, Anthony is out there with Marcus Morris. Then it's Holiday. Then it's Joel Embiid. And it's Bogdanovich in at the 2 spot. Toronto shooting their first free throw of the night.
And on the season, you know, they're hitting about 76%, which is a decent rate.
You could feel the clock ticking for Melo's time in New York, and this offseason, it finally ended, Greg.
Yeah, and for a team like this to add Melo to the mix, what a blessing. I mean, Melo still has a ton of offense to offer, and hard to add a player so skilled as Melo for practically nothing.
And Holiday kicks to Anthony. No good from outside. Wizards trailed by 3. Now Carter. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. Fox with it. There's a screen by Noel. Levine wide open. Off target from 3-point range. Toronto leading by 3. Here's Holiday. Here's Embiid. And they had their chances. 2 offensive rebounds. But they still come up empty. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
A shot by Carter. Nobody around.
How are you gonna let old man Carter score?
Levine with the assist.
And you can see there the defender gets caught
Wide open
on
in the
pick.
corner.
Team ball.
Insanity is still
on
there.
offense. Everyone working together. You wish you could have that play.
And here's Anthony for 3. Good on the 3-point shot. Anthony's got the lead up to 3 now for Toronto.
And that's how you answer back.
Trading bombs the last 2 possessions. They're going that way.
And Levine, here we go. Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. And it's 8 points for Nerlens Noel.
Yeah, and that's a pure hustle play, getting to the offensive glass for the tip-in.
And that's the kind of quality you see in any strong offensive rebounder, isn't it? Holiday, the pass to Embiid. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. And for Joel Embiid, some real tough times to start his NBA career. Greg sidelined, as we know, for the first 2 seasons with injuries. And just when he got going in season 3, he was dealt a knee injury.
Yeah, it has not been easy. And remember, Joel Embiid is so competitive. You know, he came to the game late, but fell for it hard. And this is what he lives for, to be out on the court helping his team compete.
Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. Here's Anthony. Yes, it is. Scored that as a bucket. Number 5 on a 5 for 11 night.
Anthony, a perennial all-star talent, specifically because of that scoring ability. One of the best in the business.
There's a screen by Noel. Nobody near George. Second chance shot, and it's Noel missing.
The D doing everything they can to cut him off on his way to the hoop.
Anthony kicks to Holiday. Morris outside. Just 5 on the clock. Again, Toronto.
When Morris gets free from mid-range, he's very effective. Love seeing him getting it going from there.
Fox dishes to Levine. Passes it to Noel. It's over Embiid. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. That one on Embiid. For Washington, they have gone 0 for 1 at the line. This is their second trip to the line tonight. All free throws good for Noel.
Great. Yeah, both of those.
Just over 3.5 minutes through the third quarter of play now. Here's Holiday. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. Pass to Embiid. That's in there. Anthony with the assist. Anthony's got his 5th assist in this one.
Nice bucket. There's no question about his skills in the offensive end.
We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one.
Down
Toronto
3.
leads by 3.
I should get out of the playoffs
for you right after this.
with a few losses, but I feel like this team wants to play a little bit harder. Like, no, we're going.
We've had a great
We're going.
So far with both sides coming to play. They've got Zach LaVine. Noel is out there with Paul George. And it's Fox. And it's Carter in at the 3. That's the group on the floor right now for Washington. That doesn't go on the chance to tie. Toronto leading by 3. Here's Morris. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
While the shooting of Morris provides his team with is crucial, just a real valuable part of this team.
Good on both. Here's George. Noel, a screen on Morris. George passes to Noel. LaVine against Bogdanovich. And
Oh, caught the corner. We got a body.
And I don't know if there's anybody who can match LaVine when it comes to the art of the dunk. He is a highlight reel waiting to happen.
That Unleash Chaos Under Armour replay really giving us a good look at the action. Morris with a screen on George. Here's Holiday, and it's sent back by George. 11 feet away, George. It doesn't go for him, and Toronto will go the other way with it. Fox against Holiday. The feed now to Morris. They set the pick. Back to Holiday. Morris a screen. And Holiday kicks to Embiid. It's good. The assist that time from Holiday. Holiday's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Just over a minute and a half played here in the 4th. Noel dishes to Fox. Outside for George. 6 on the shot clock. Noel sets a screen for George. Over Morris. That doesn't go either for George.
Well executed. Great rhythm. You've got to finish that one.
Yeah, coming off a good pick, you want to get that one. He gets the separation he needs. I know he would love to have that one back.
There's a screen by Noel. There's a good screen. Shot is good, and the Toronto lead is cut down now to just 2 on the basket from Paul George.
And Fox is a solid passer. Knows how to get the ball to his guys when they're ready to let it go.
The dish to Embiid. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Embiid's got 4 points in the quarter.
And that tells the tale here today, guys. Throughout this game, they've been able to get the ball in tight and finish.
There's a screen by Noel. Fox kicks to George. Off the left rim and out. Toronto leading by 4. Here's Anthony. The putback.
And I bet you'll never see too many guys who can put forth an
Why you just dribble out the clock?
like this one.
Good
It's
grief,
effort,
why?
It's ability he also
This
has
is hard to watch.
incredible instinct.
There's a screen by Noel. A three from George. And it's George again missing.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
Anthony, the pass to Holiday. Morris kicks to Bogdanovich. Dishes it to Embiid. Falls right in. He is 8 for 11 with that shot.
I love Bogdanovich's ability to put the team first. When he sees one of his guys open, he's a willing ball mover.
Washington calls timeout. They trail by 6. 35 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. And now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Joel Embiid.
Yeah, and his percentage from the field tonight, just amazing. He hadn't just been gunning. He's been picking his spots, and you need that kind of patience and discipline to shoot as well as he had.
Off the screen. Yes!
Yeah, you see the athleticism George had on that dunk. It's so quick and explosive. Gets to the rim in an instant.
And they go to the intentional foul. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And so they foul intentionally.
Just make both of them this game, please.
First free throw is good, and that puts them up by 5.
He's only listed at 6'4", but Holiday plays bigger than that. That's the case on D more than anywhere else. He can guard 3 positions, and there's a lot of value in that.
There's a screen by Noel. Fox kicks to George. But they'll get another chance. Fox, no good. And he commits the intentional foul.
No choice but to foul there, but he's probably the last guy you want to see.
First free throw is good, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And he cannot convert on the second. That misses.
Wizards back to 500.
Lets it go with a 3. Doesn't go for him.
Ball is right in the world.
Now here is Holiday. And so it's Toronto winning this one. This was a hard-fought, well-worked. David, thank you as always. And that'll wrap it up, folks.
Yep. That's probably why I lost. 3 for 10 from both George and Levine. From downtown. If they're not shooting over 50%, I'm pretty much always going to lose those games. 4 points in the paint. How in the world are you going to let Noel and George get 8 offensive rebounds? Good grief.